One of the signature qualities of the most effective schools is coherence. When you walk around the school building with a school principal and they point out the curriculum and the design of the building and the schedule and the staffing, you get a sense that all these things link together under a kind of shared intellectual pedagogical framework. In the most effective implementations, competency-based education brings that kind of coherence to schools. It's a way of thinking about teaching and learning. It's a way of focusing on what students really need to be able to know and do that helps everyone in the school community, students, parents, teachers, administrators, school board members, community members, understand what it is that everyone in the school community is trying to accomplish together. As schools try to introduce competency-based education and competency-based teaching practices into classrooms, one of the most important features of school innovation to keep in mind is that teachers primarily change their pedagogy in response to other teachers. If we interview teachers about who it is that has the most influence on how they teach, their number one response is their colleagues. Teacher-to-teacher learning is central to change. What that means is when schools introduce competency-based education or competency-based practices, it's most likely that it's a relatively small group of teachers that really go all in on changing and transforming their practices. And there's likely to be many more teachers who you might call patient pragmatists, people who are watching and waiting on the fence a little bit to see how these changes are going to play out. One of the most important things that school leaders can do is give opportunities for teachers who are experimenting and kind of a little bit ahead on competency-based education to be sharing what they're doing with their colleagues. That information, those teaching strategies are most likely to spread organically throughout a community rather than just being imposed top-down by an administration. If I was thinking about bringing competency-based practices to a new school, one of the most important things I would be thinking about is in the first and second years of implementation and in the years beyond that, how am I going to create the time and space for teachers to be learning and innovating with one another?